Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Throwing from the outset is Penix. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And they'll use him out in the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. And looking to throw, Penix. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. And some room to work. Inside the 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Moore, the man in motion. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
So, Brandon, we saw it in with a lot of coaches. And when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again, 3rd and long now. Looking to throw, Penix. It got his man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. Here's Penix. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. Robinson will try to pick it up. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They are going for it. Penix. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A big play there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early and give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And a dump off here to Robinson. Shedding the tackler that gives him some room. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now Penix. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Raiders will have solid field position here as they take over at the 45-yard line.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. You talk about this Falcon defense. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. 3rd and 7 now.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board.
1st down, here's Mitchell. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Right back to Mitchell here. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 68 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the 1st down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. On 1st down, they go back to Mitchell. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
Now, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Looking to throw. Carney to the right side. It's caught by Mitchell. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
(14-0) the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a third down coming up. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on third down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
Jake Moody now on for the field goal. From the left hash, this from 34. And his kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now, as they will send this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
down.
You
don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. To the air, Penix. Have got him. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. They'll throw with Penix. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Trying the right side with Mitchell. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Another run with Mitchell. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, here's Mitchell. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 84 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the 2nd half of this contest.
From the 22 now, here's the 2nd down and 6. From the gun, a give to Mitchell. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd and short to give to the tight end. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Tucker, complete on the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Trey Tucker, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are able to add on to their 1st half lead. Moody good with the extra point, and the rout is on here in this 1st half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the 1st half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Here's 3rd and 6. Moore, the man in motion. They'll go play action here with Penix. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
The Falcons send out their punter. And how about this, a fake? As he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Carney. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And a short gain down to about the 33. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
But you do need to know as a young quarterback that if you're going to spread the field, the ball's got to come out quick. And you have to know where to go with the football, really in pre-snap. Identify where you want to go and get rid of it.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So more of the same here, CD. Not a touchdown, but 3 more points added on to their lead.
Yeah, it's been a total domination here in this first half. Offensively, defensively, even the special teams have chipped in as he connects on the field goal. It may be a little bit premature, but I think the only thing they're worried about dominating now, the post-game meal.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
In motion comes the tight end left. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Back to throw here. Under pressure, they got him again. Lucas Van Ness getting free there to bring him down. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. In motion, the tight end. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And Tommy Adebawore in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. They're going to look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Penix working out of the gun here. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the Falcons are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Robinson. Touchdown, Falcons. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
They'll let Robinson try and run. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. Checks this one down. It's Mitchell. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before break. Carney. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Second half begins with a carry by Mitchell. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Right back to Mitchell on second down. And even 100 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
But once again, it's Mitchell. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 6. Running left, here's Mitchell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on second down. A give running right is Mitchell. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Back to throw. Carney. That's to Mitchell out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. This O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
That's caught by Tucker. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Carney. Throw left side complete. That's Mitchell. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll look to throw again. Flush to his right, and he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Operating from the gun, Carney completes it to Davis. It'll be a gain of 5, and now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Eluding the pressure right. And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Jake Moody now on for the field goal. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is indeed good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Moore, the man in motion. A play fake. Now Penix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Well, they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And looking to throw, Penix. That is caught. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Raiders are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Carney. Throw left side, pulled in by Tucker. And he's brought down. 11 yards for number 11.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
They run over center with Mitchell. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 122 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
On the handoff, Mitchell. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 20. Seven yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. From the 21, here's 2nd and 3. Mitchell now off the option. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
That's to the left side where he's got Bowers. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but They'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not, and they trail big. After this, it figures to be a quiet trip home. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that will bring up second down. Looking to throw, Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now Penix. Right back to Pitts again. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. A give here to Mitchell. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes. So that
he's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play there for Vegas. 53 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
First down, here's Mitchell. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. On the draw, here's Mitchell. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Right back to Mitchell here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Raiders start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. Moody good with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Here's Penix. Here's a screen for Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
And now here's another interception. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
A handoff from Mitchell running left. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Another run with Mitchell. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
From the gun on 3rd down. Hagan. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. Here's Mitchell. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Now 2nd and 5. A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And they're not going to get the kick off in time. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And they will take a knee here. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And it was their defense that really made